I want to take the time to thank the board of NAMAC. Over the past 2 or 3 years, we have had an awesome number of men and women who raised their hand and said, yep, I'm on board with what NAMAC's trying to do, and signed up to do the work free of charge, gratis, to put on programs like this. And I would like all the members, all the board members of NAMAC Atlanta to please stand so they can be recognized. These are some fine men and women that do hard work in their spare time, and there's no such thing as spare time, right? They make time, they give time, they commit time, and up until this year, before we hired Kiona, everything we did was volunteer run, member run. And we're happy to have Kiona, but we are still a member-driven organization. Most of the heavy lifting and the work gets done by company owners, executives from prime contracting firms, and local corporate partners. So the next plug is that if you are not a member of NAMAC, we need you. We need you on board to do the work that needs to be done. The work needs to be done this year more so than last year, which was more so than the year before, because the challenges continue to present themselves. So if you are whether you're in your first years as a minority contractor or diverse contractor, or you've been in the business a long time, and you're not a member of NAMAC, we need you, because we're advocating on your behalf, we're advocating on behalf of the industry, and we're doing it from Mayor Deacon's office to the Gold Dome in Atlanta, all the way to Washington, D.C. We had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. to testify and work with them, and we'll continue to do that work. We'll continue to work with the governor's office to make sure that we need to have more opportunities in state contracting. We'll continue to work with Mayor Dickens to make sure that we can have a relevant EBO program in this city and be the standard for the rest of the country, because Atlanta is the standard for the rest of this country. And give yourself a hand for that. We've been doing this right for a long time in this city. And that's just a fact. The disparity studies that have kind of spread themselves out across this country, that started here. That started here when Michael Russell's dad was leading the way getting things done, making sure that we did good work and brought along other companies alongside us. But here's what we're faced with, people. This year versus last year, there's a hearty and growing challenge to inclusion and equity, not just in the construction space, but in all procurement. And it's not just government, it's private as well. So if there was ever a time when organizations like NAMAC needed to be more relevant, it's now. If you haven't been paying attention, if you have not been paying attention, there are multiple court cases making their way through multiple court jurisdictions. The two most prominent ones are one in Texas and one in Tennessee. One's making its way through a county program, and another one making its way through the federal SBA program, attacking diversity, attacking the programs that many of us have grown our businesses on, and that future businesses like Justin Lee and Alan Carter, with their companies are going to try to build upon. Those programs are under attack. They're well funded, and they're mean. I'm talking about 1970s football mean. They are trying to take the programs down. But here's what I know. At the end of the day, we deliver value. NAMAC members deliver value. Our general members, our diverse contractors, we do work. We deliver value. And here's what we also know, is that we put Black and brown people to work at a much higher degree than majority firms do. And here's another true fact, that this industry, especially in the state of Georgia, is losing workers faster than we can replace them. For every 4 people that leave this industry, one's coming in. That's a fact from Mike Dunham from the Associated General Contractors. That's not my fact. And he got that fact from the Department of Labor in this state. And guess what? I'm just going to be frank about it. White folks can't fill that void by themselves. Black, brown, and female folks are going to fill that void. That's where the void's going to get filled, because the demographics are speaking for themselves. So we do work, we generate revenue, we generate tax dollars, we put people to work, and rising tide lifts all boats, which is another John F. Kennedy quote that I like to cite. So, Ernest, where are you going with all this? Where I'm going with this is that the mission of NAMAC has never been more important than it is today. We have to continue to tell the story. We need all the local corporate partners, all the sponsors that are on board with us now to stay with us. We need every black, brown, minority, diverse contractor that is a member to stay a member, and if you're not a member, you need to get on board, because the fight's real. And here's what I'll also say as we get to close, is that construction is hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've had the benefit of being in multiple industries, but this is the hardest business that I've ever been a part of. And it's hard to get things perfect. I always say, the next perfect project will be the first perfect project, right? But as diverse contractors, we have to invest in ourselves. We have to raise our capacity. We need to work together, and we need to be excellent and not give them any reason to take our business away. And that's hard. I've had projects that have been far from excellent, and I know I'm not the only one. But that's the goal. We have to, as minority contractors, every time we set out, we have to seek perfection and take excellence. That's the where the game is taking us. So the beautiful thing about our fight is that we're Atlantans. We're in the city of Atlanta. And this has always been a familiar community. This has always been a collective community. This is not new for us. And so as a board, we know you're on board with us. As corporate partners, we know you're committed, because every time we've asked, you've raised your hand, and we love you for it. As sponsors and developers like Grady and Centennial Yards, I mean, you're doing the work that we want more developers, more owners to do. And if you're not a member of NAMAC, we need you. We need you. We not only need your membership, we not only need your membership dollars, but we need your voice. And we need to get you engaged so we can help get you into the workflow, because there's a ton of work out here in this marketplace, and we want to be a part of it all.